Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this lovely Rosh Chodesh Adar. I want to wish you all a Chodesh Tov U'Mvorach Shenichnas Adar. Marbim Besimcha. As we enter this month of Adar, we increase in happiness. We always should be happy, but even more so in this month. Let's no better way to get happiness than to study Torah. So let us jump right into some beautiful guidance from Pirkei Avot. Today we are studying Chapter 4, Mishnah 21, in the version that we are following on the hard copy. Online, the shared screen that we're going to use right now, it will be Mishnah number 16. Okay? The author of our Mishnah is Rabbi Akov. Sorry about that. The screen just moved. Okay? The author of our Mishnah is Rabbi Akov. So without further ado, let us share the screen. Can we get a thumbs up? Do we all see the shared screen? Beautiful. Rabbi Akov Omer, says Rabbi Akov. We studied about him earlier. If you want to know more about Rabbi Akov, we spoke about him back in chapter 3, Mishnah number 9, he was quoted. Either way, Rabbi Akov Omer, Ha'olam hazeh dome liprosdor bifnei ha'olam haba. Powerful. This world, and this is maybe the most important Mishnah that we will ever learn together. Okay? And I kid you not. I'm not exaggerating. I don't say that every Mishnah. This is one of the most powerful Mishnayot. And says Rabbi Akov, Ha'olam hazeh, this world, domeh leprosdor, it's like a lobby. It's like a hallway. To what? Says Rabbi Akov, it's a hallway bifnei ha'olam haba, to the next world. And therefore, hatken atzmecha baprosdor, prepare yourself in the lobby, prepare yourself in the hallway, kedei shetikanes litraklin, so that you will be able to enter the banquet hall. Rabbi Akov over here is telling us something that is very, very powerful, and that is that this world is a prosdor. Prosdor, what language is prosdor, by the way? Prosdor is not Hebrew. Prosdor, like many times in Mishnayot, is actually a Greek word. Okay? Who could just think of another word that we use that's Greek actually and not Hebrew? And you'll be shocked, by the way. Not a name of a rabbi. Many names we know that are Greek. I want you to think of a name of something, of a word that's repeated over and over in Mishnayot. You ready? Etrog. Etrog that we shake every Sukkot is not a Hebrew word. It's a Greek word, okay? So many words from Greek made it into the Hebrew vocabulary. Prosdor is one of them. This world, and what's a prosdor? In Greek, it's a vestibule outside the king's chamber. So let's think about that for a minute, okay? This world, we're comparing to a vestibule, to a lobby, outside of the king's office, the king's chamber, outside of the king's room. What do you do? Says the Beit La'avot. What do you do if you're waiting for the king? Somebody who wants to see the king. What's in his mind? What is he thinking about? All he's thinking about is what he's going to be saying to the king once those doors open. All he's thinking about, all he's doing is repeating over and over and over again his pleas, his requests, making sure they are perfect so that when the king opens up the doors, when the guards open up and allow him to into the king's office to speak to the king, he'll be very prepared and he'll be fluent in what he wants to say to the king. He's not going to stutter. He's not going to be hesitant. Is this guy outside waiting to speak to the king thinking about a vacation? Is he thinking about money? Is he thinking about his business? Is he thinking about all of the other sports and things that he's going to do in his life? Of course not. Only thing in his mind, what am I going to say to the king? Says the Beit La'avot, that is very powerful. This world is like a vestibule and we are going to see the king. We have to prepare what exactly it is that we are going to say. You know, there is a very powerful story about Rav Moshe Leib of Sasov. Anyone ever heard of him? Well, anyways, Rav Moshe Leib of Sasov, one time, he returned from a long journey. Of course, what do children do when their papa returns from a long journey overseas on a business trip? What do children do when their daddy comes home from a long trip? The kids run over, they meet him by the door. He can't even get his luggage in the house. By the door. And they're yelling, Daddy, 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 what'd you get for us? What toys did you bring from overseas, Daddy? Let us see. What did you bring? Well, Rav Moshe Leib of Sosov brought nothing. And he apologized and he told his kids, I didn't bring anything. The disappointed children, they implored, they said, what are you talking about? Tati, what do you mean you didn't bring anything? When you return from a long trip, you must bring something back with you. You can't come back empty-handed. And when they told those words to their father, their father, Rav Moshe Leib of Sosov, fainted. Well, the story continues that after he regained consciousness, his wife said to him, just because you can't satisfy the children, just because you didn't bring them a toy, that's no reason to faint. Okay, it's not the end of the world. You'll bring them a toy next time. The tzaddik replied to his wife, I did not faint because I didn't bring them back any toys. When I heard what the children said, I began to think, when I return home to the next world after my long trip and my journey down to this world, what will I answer when I am asked, Rav Yid, what did you bring back with you from planet Earth? What will I respond? It is because of that thought, said Rav Moshe Leib of Sosov, that I will go to the next world empty-handed. That is why I fainted. That is something that our Mishnah reminds us. We have to be very careful to make sure that we go to the next world with goods, with mitzvot, with Torah, with notebooks of all the notes that we took on our learning. This way, when you get to the next world, we say, yes, bring me all my notes. Bring me all my documents. Bring me all my learning of Torah. That is what I have with me, and I am prepared. Our rabbi said it best. Mi shetarach be'erev Shabbat, yochal be'Shabbat. Whoever prepared on Friday afternoon will have what to eat on Shabbat. Nobody ever thinks of just walking into Shabbat not prepared. Right? You gotta be crazy. We prepare sometimes from Thursday night. If it's a good cholent, with the food, with the chicken, with the meat, we're preparing. Right? Anyone ever enter a bar mitzvah or a wedding and that day they start preparing for their daughter or their son's wedding? What are you talking about? For 6 months I'm preparing for the wedding. For a year we're preparing. Buying the clothing, the tablecloth, that they should match the wife's dress, that they should go with the cups, what kind of caterer we're going to use, what kind of napkins, what kind of dishes, all of the DJ, the entertainment. We're preparing for months, right? For Shabbat, we're not preparing, we're not going to go into Shabbat and prepare on Shabbat. You can't. Once Shabbat begins, you can't cook anymore. You got to prepare on Friday. And whoever prepares on Friday will have what to eat on Shabbat. Mi shetarach be'erev Shabbat, yochal be'Shabbat. If you prepared before, you'll eat on Shabbat. If you didn't prepare, what are you going to eat? You're stuck with a cold cut sandwich if you're lucky. Right? This is the message of our Mishnah. This world is the time that we prepare for the next world. When we get to the next world, it's a world of Shabbat. It's 24/7 of Shabbat. How enjoyable is Shabbat? Right? Shabbat, you get in Friday night, the yummy, delicious challah, and the soup, and the fish, and the meat. Oh! B'jennen! Right? And just a nice bottle of wine, right? A nice glass of scotch, a beautiful, relaxing, enjoying with the family, singing, eating, enjoying all the delicacies of this life. That's Shabbat. That's beautiful. There's no phone. There's no headache. I get to enjoy. I sleep. I wake up for synagogue, Shabbat morning. We go to shul. We enjoy a beautiful speech. We enjoy the company of our friends. This is Shabbat, right? Okay, maybe Saturday night, we're ready. 24 hours is enough. I'm ready to go back to my phone. The next world, though, is going to be 24/7, and we're not going to get hajjed. We're not going to get fed up after 24 hours of Shabbat. We're going to want it to be forever, and that's what it's going to be, forever. But like Shabbat down here, you can't cook on Shabbat. It's too late. If you didn't prepare before, you're not going to eat on Shabbat. The next world is a product of what we prepared. And the more we prepare down here, the bigger of a feast we will have. And that's what the Mishnah is telling us. This world is a prosdor. Prepare yourself in the prosdor. Prepare yourself in the hallway so that you can have what to eat at the banquet. How sad will it be if we go up to the next world and we are no longer prepared? Before entering a chamber of an important person, we prepare. We prepare what we're going to say to them. We prepare what we're going to talk to them about. We prepare what we're going to do. Before preparing the next world, before entering the next world, we have to prepare ourselves down here. To invest time, our rabbis say another beautiful idea of here. Imagine a person invested all of their time, all of their energy in preparing the hallway, in preparing the portico. You'd say he's foolish. What are you wasting your money on the hallway? You have to invest your money into the house. Invest your money into the actual hall. Don't waste all your money on the hallway. That's just leading. The hall is what should be beautiful. Well, this world is the same thing. Of course, you have a nice hallway, but to invest all our money, all our time, all our energies, all our talents, that all day we're thinking. And by the way, this up here is the most important tool we have, our brains, that we should waste all of it on thinking about the hallway, on thinking about making another dollar, on thinking about investments, on thinking about money for this world. It's like a person wasting all of their time into investing all of their time into the hallway, into the portico. That is not the goal. There is another world after coming. Prepare for the main banquet. We have to prepare for Olam Haba. There is a beautiful story that's told over here. And the story I heard before, but I never heard it with the original names. And I found it over here in Art Scroll's version of Pirkei Avot. With their commentary, I found the original story. Take a look. Beautiful. I don't know how you pronounce this name. Maybe you could help me. But the name over here, the way I'm pronouncing it, Mrs. Necha Golding. Okay? Necha. Maybe it's Necha. I don't know. Mrs. Necha Golding, who Rav Aaron Cutler called the last standing tzaddiket. Okay? The last real tzaddiket. She was a host and supporter of many causes and great Torah scholars. She supported Torah. She supported rabbis. She supported organizations. Among them was the Chafetz Chaim. Well, she wanted to meet a saintly Chafetz Chaim, so she decided to travel all the way to the town of, where did the Chafetz Chaim live? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'hakol nהיה b'dvaro. To the town of Radin. Radin, okay? Is that in your bucket list to go to Radin? Right? Turks and Caicos made it, Puerto Rico, Punta Cana, and add Radin to the list, okay? We're going to go to Radin. Anyways, she went to visit the saintly Chafetz Chaim in Radin. Rabotai, take a look. At the meeting, there was a very famous exchange that took place. Again, it's an exchange that you may have heard of, but this is the original. And it reflects our Mishnah's description of what this world is. After noting the sparse wooden benches in his home and the minimal furniture that he had, Mrs. Golding offered to buy the Chafetz Chaim much more comfortable furniture. He asked her, "And where is your furniture?" And she responded, "Well, it's at home, but I'm only traveling here. I'm only a guest." And the Chafetz Chaim looked at her and he said, "Me too. I'm also a guest. I'm also traveling. All my furniture I have, it's at home." The same way she wouldn't fathom bringing her furniture with her to Radin. Why would I bring it here? This is temporary. I have it in my real home. The Chafetz Chaim had a real home. It was up there. And he lived this entire life, this whole world that we're in. It is all a vestibule. It is temporary. It's a hallway leading to my real home. And over there I have tons and tons of beautiful furniture. The Chafetz Chaim prepared himself for the next world. Rabotai, what a magnificent mashal. You know what the problem is? The problem is that there is something called a Yetzer Hara. And the Yetzer Hara does not want us to prepare. And There is another beautiful mashal that you may have heard of, and this is from Rabbi Pesach Proskin, and he says the following beautiful mashal. There was once a king that wanted to honor 3 people that saved his life. Take a look. So he decides they saved his life. How much is that worth? Priceless. You can't pay that. So he decided he's going to pay them with one day into the palace, and they could take whatever they want. Now you could imagine, one day in the palace to the treasure house. That's it. We're set for life. Me, my grandkids, all our grandkids, they're set for life. I can take all the money from the treasure house, whatever I want. Well, the king's inner circle, his tight friends, his advisors that were close to him, they were very jealous that these 3 rescuers would have carte blanche into the palace. They decided to come up with a scheme to stop them. The day of the good fortune that they were going to receive, the people come into the house. These 3 rescuers, they come into the palace. Well, all of the advisors that got jealous, they had an amazing idea. They create this beautiful, lavish party with foods, with music. They bring the top celebrities. They bring the top athletes. They bring the most expensive and beautiful paintings and musicians and wines and drinks and foods and top chefs. And as these 3 guests walk into the palace, the advisors of the king bring them right to this lavish meal. They say, come and sit, enjoy. And they sit down and they start eating these beautiful, and there's appetizers. And all of a sudden, the first rescuer who rescued the king was a very wise man. And he realized that if he's going to sit here and waste all of his time at this party, he's not going to come for what he was meant to do. So he quickly finishes his plate and he runs and he gets straight to the treasure house, and he starts filling all of his bags with gold, with silver, loading up. Well, the next man wasn't so wise, and he's eating and drinking and enjoying, and all of a sudden he looks at his watch, and it's a half hour till sunset, and he realized, oh my God, it's sunset, it's over. I wasted my whole day. Okay, let me not waste any more time. He gets up and he runs straight to the treasure house, and he starts loading his bags with gold and silver for however much time is left. But the third man, the biggest fool of all, he got drunk. He wasted his time till finally, after he sobered up, it was past nightfall, and they kicked him out of the palace. Rabotai, the Nimshal is so clear and so beautiful. We come into this world and we are told, grab and eat. Grab! Mitzvot, they're all over. They're everywhere. Learning Torah, doing chesed, tzedakah, learning, praying. We could go and God says, come in and grab whatever you want, and you're going to take it with you for the rest of eternity. We come into this world, but there is a very big Yetzer Hara who's very jealous. He does not want us to grab as much as we can. So he sets up this beautiful, beautiful party, and he has all these temptations, foods, drinks, musics, parties, sports, movies, celebrities. Come, eat, enjoy. And we sit down. Some people like the Hafetz Chaim, from day one, they said, listen, this is nice, but I can't forget why I came. I came to go to the treasure house. See you later. Adios, amigo. And they run straight and they grab as much as they can. Some people, they're a little bit slower. Maybe they didn't take advantage right away in the beginning of their lives. We wasted our youth. But Baruch Hashem, now we realize what's important. We realize that all of this world is just fantasy. It's nonsense. It doesn't get us anywhere productive. We run out in the middle of the meal. We wasted some time, but we know we're not going to waste the rest of our time. And we run straight. We grab as much as we can. Some people, unfortunately, they waste their lives and they never wake up. They go their entire lives never thinking and realizing what they were meant here to accomplish, what they were here to gather. They waste their life drunk. They waste their life high. They waste their life on foods and on drinks and on drugs and on in enjoying this world. And they invest all their money into the furniture down here. And when they go to the next world, it's already sunset. It's too late. You can't take any mitzvot in the next world. A person will get to the next world and he will be begging God, please, let me give another $100 as tzedakah. Just another check, please. Let me do one more chapter of Tehillim. Let me pray one more time. And God says, I'm sorry. It's nighttime. Shabbat began. It's too late. We can't cook on Shabbat. We're going to beg, please give me another chance. We're going to cry. Why did I waste? What did I hold my money for? You have to know something, Rabotai. We have to know. The money that we hold on to down here, we will never take with us. The money that we give down here, we will take with us forever. All the tzedakah. And the smart people know this. They know. If I hold on to it, I'm going to leave. It's going to stay here. I'm going to go up there. They said, you know what? Let me take it with me. And they took all their money. They threw it ahead of them. How do we throw our money ahead of us? When we invest it into charity, when we give chesed, we help people that need it. That is the best way to ensure our money comes with us. The best way we make sure that our time comes with us, that our olam hazeh, our furniture comes with us, is by allowing rabbis into our home, by allowing aniyim into our home, by allowing people that need a place to stay into our home. This way, all our furniture down here, all our beautiful china and our dishes, we fed guests with them. They will come with us into the next world. Rabotai, we have to remember, and maybe this is the most important lesson that we will ever learn in this Pirkei Avot class, or in any other class that we will ever learn in our lives. The most important lesson, and we remember this, it's everything. And if we forget this, we lose everything. This world is a preparation for the next world. This world is a prosdor, it's a hallway, and we will be very wise if we make sure that we invest our time accordingly. This way, when we get there, we'll be able to enjoy the beautiful party that is waiting for us. We'll stop over here. Have a Chodesh Tov and a Shabbat Shalom.